It began as a typical late autumn weekend, but by Sunday night, everything changed. A powerful snowstorm swept across southern Ontario and Quebec, triggering one of the earliest major winter events Canada had seen in decades. For millions, this sudden shift turned a quiet November evening into a full-scale nature disaster and a significant extreme weather emergency. Across key urban centers, the storm delivered fast-falling snow, hazardous roads, and widespread disruption. In Toronto, 9.8 centimeters of snow fell on November 9th, the highest snowfall ever recorded on that date in 54 years. Ottawa reported 11.7 centimeters at its airport, officially breaking a first-of-season snowfall record that had stood for more than half a century. In Quebec, the storm deepened. Heavy, wet snow brought down trees and disabled power lines. At its peak, more than 375,000 homes and businesses were without electricity. Streets fell silent as municipalities urged residents to stay inside, and emergency teams worked throughout the night. The storm formed when a surge of Arctic air collided with moist air over the Great Lakes. According to Environment and Climate Change Canada, a strengthening low-pressure system intensified as it moved east, pulling in colder air and creating ideal conditions for rapid snowfall. This combination produced a powerful early-season event, one that struck before many cities were fully prepared. Across the Greater Toronto Area, roads and walkways disappeared beneath a fast-growing layer of snow. Between 5 and 10 centimeters fell in most areas, with up to 30 centimeters reported under localized snow squall bands. In Ottawa, autumn leaves still scattered across lawns were suddenly buried under fresh, dense snow, a reminder of how quickly the storm escalated. Infrastructure was hit hard. In southern Quebec, the weight of wet snow snapped branches and toppled trees. Many fell directly onto power lines, leading to widespread blackouts. Utility crews mobilized more than 1,000 workers, but some neighborhoods remained without power for more than 24 hours. In Ontario, icy roads contributed to roughly 340 vehicle collisions within a single day, according to provincial police. Daily routines were disrupted across both provinces. Schools in Quebec closed. Public services slowed. Families without electricity were forced to find temporary alternatives for heat and lighting. In several communities, stranded motorists abandoned vehicles as roads became impassable under blowing snow and limited visibility.
So a bunch of snow in good old Canada. It's all wet and gross. We're warming up the car.
Authorities issued early warnings. Environment Canada released special weather statements ahead of the storm, alerting residents to the risks of heavy snow, freezing rain, and potential outages. Snow clearing operations began quickly, though many municipalities noted that winter equipment had not yet been fully deployed, as most seasonal contracts begin later in November.
Watch it. Cochrane, Ontario. Current conditions.
Meteorologists described the event as unusual for its timing. The rapid southward movement of Arctic air, combined with lake effect moisture, created conditions more typical of midwinter than early November. Specialists noted that atmospheric patterns this year made the region particularly vulnerable to sudden early season snow. Transportation systems across Ontario and Quebec struggled in the aftermath. Highways remained slick, airport operations faced delays, and commuters encountered significant challenges. With power outages and blocked roads, many communities were forced into temporary shutdowns until conditions improved. Yet through the disruption, resilience was visible. Neighbors helped dig out driveways. Volunteers assisted older residents. Snow removal crews worked extended hours. Emergency workers guided stranded drivers to shelters and cleared roads long after midnight. Across the affected regions, communities responded with unity and determination. As power returned and snow clearing operations expanded, Canada stood at the threshold of an early winter. This event will be remembered not only for the records it broke, but for the pressure it placed on infrastructure and the reminder it delivered. Early season storms can hit with little warning, and preparation is essential.
For November? Yeah, it's snowing pretty heavy right now.
Cleanup will continue in the coming days. Roads will be salted and cleared. Power lines will be repaired. Communities will regroup and rebuild after the storm's impact. But amid the damage, one truth remains clear. Canadians confronted the storm with resilience, cooperation, and strength, determined to move forward even as winter arrives sooner than expected.